So, hi guys, my name is Anissa. I am a junior, senior on campus right now, but I'll kind of be just a mediator of this student panel. And then we have Maddie, and I'm gonna go ahead and let her introduce herself. But yeah, wait, Maddie, you're muted.
Every time. I forget that every time. My name is Maddie. I'll be a senior in the fall. I'm a double major in criminal justice and sociology. A couple of things I'm involved in. I'm an Alpha Phi. I'm a director of campus activities for them. I'm the Panhellenic VP of recruitment and retention. I'm on the student government. I'm the senator for the College of Humanities, Social Sciences, and Arts. I'm the head lifeguard at at the Morris Recreation Center. I'm a peer mentor for the Student Disabilities Office, and I'm also a Lion Ambassador with ANISA.
Okay, guys. So the way this is kind of going to work, we just ask that you guys stay muted unless y'all are asking questions or wanting more feedback or anything like that. And then it's just completely up to you guys if you want to stay on the camera or not. But we're going to go ahead and get started. If you guys want to send questions in to get started, that's completely fine. If not, I have a few questions that we could get started with. Anybody have any questions so far? No? Maybe? Okay. So, let's do it this way. So the first question would be, what is the most useful resource on campus to you? And I'm gonna go ahead and let Maddie answer that question for you guys.
Ooh, that's a really good question. I feel like it's going to kind of sound like a cop-out answer, but I think definitely the one-stop shop on campus. I'm counting it as one resource because everything's all in one building. That's super helpful to me because whenever I need anything, like if I got to talk to student accounts, or if I want to talk to financial aid, or if I want to talk to my advisor, or if I want to talk to Veterans Affairs, like anything like that, like everybody's all in one building. So for me, it's just one quick trip. Like don't have to go to like 10 different buildings all across campus. So I think that's probably for me the best resource is definitely like the one-stop shop. What do you think, Lisa?
I really like the one-stop shop too, but I would think the most useful one for me would be the Academic Success Center. So what the Academic Success Center is, it's basically your on-campus tutoring. So tutoring on campus is free for students. They kind of have a good variety of anything that you can really think of. And if they don't, you can always go and like ask for additional help. We have office hours. All of our professors on campus have office hours. So you can always go to them for like one-on-one tutoring, anything like that. But the Academic Success Center really helps a lot with like one of your higher classes or anything like that. But yes,
for sure.
Anybody have a question? No, maybe. Okay. Next question is going to be, how easy is it for transfer students to get involved? Transfer students, I'm assuming everyone on this panel is a transfer student, but it's really easy. So kind of depending on what you're interested in, you have a good variety of everything on campus. We have over 140 student organizations. So kind of just depends on what you're interested in. And then if you're not interested in any of those that we have to offer, you could always make an organization of your own, but we kind of have a good variety of everything. You'll find something that you're absolutely in love with that you want to do for a few years. But Maddie's involved in everything across campus.
Involved in everything. I think there's a couple of different ways that you could look at getting involved on campus. There's always Greek Life. You could always join that. We have a bunch of different councils that have a bunch of different organizations within each council. So definitely look into that. I promise there's a home for everybody within Greek Life. I'm a little biased because I'm a part of it. If Greek Life's not really your thing, You could always get a job on campus. Those are a great way to meet other people on campus and to get involved. Personally, for me, like working at the rec, like I love my little family at the rec, and then working as a Lion ambassador, I love my little family in the one-stop shop. So getting to meet those groups of people has really like brought me into different communities within the campus that I just love being a part of. So for me, like those are the two best ways I think. One of our bosses, Gina, who's on this panel right now, she always likes to say, get involved in something related to your major and get involved in something that you like to do for fun. And I think that's perfect advice, because then you're going to meet people with the same goals and directives as you and are kind of going in that same path within college and potentially post college, and you can make those great connections. And then also getting involved in something that you like. We have a ton of student clubs. Like there's like Eco Lions, and there's like community service-based organizations, and there's different like heritage-based organizations. Like you can find other people with the same interests as you super easy on this campus. And that's one of the things I totally love.
Courtney, if you want to add anything to that.
Hi. Like she was saying, just being involved on campus is very easy to do. My first couple of years, my freshman through junior year, I actually played basketball here at the university. So with that being said, I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to do. Basketball took up all of my time. But my senior year, I decided to let that go so I could get more involved on campus. I got a couple jobs on campus, one being the orientation team. I'm now a Lion Camp leader. I worked in our lead office as a marketing assistant and at our rec. So there's ample opportunity for people to get involved on our campus, to have fun, and like our campus, if you're involved, it is what you make it. If you go out there and, you know, try to have fun, you'll do that. If you go out there and get involved, it's so easy to do.
For sure.
For sure. Do we have any other questions as we're going through? I have a list of questions, but I'm not sure what you guys are really interested in knowing, but feel free to ask or even comment. Let's see. What about the veteran certifying person for using military benefits? Are they located in the one-stop shop area? So we do have our Veterans Affairs office. So anything that you have to talk to about like the whole military benefits, they are located in the one-stop shop. They're real helpful. So all you have to do is just go and just sign in. And then when they have the chance to, they'll go and they grab you and then just go ahead and talk to you about all your benefits like that. But they're really helpful. So everything that needs to be done with you guys, they handle all of that business for you guys.
I also recommend if you or your parents or anything were in the military, definitely go talk to our VA guy. His name's Dustin. He's really, really nice. I went and had a conversation with him one day, and I found out that I qualified for free tuition in Texas, and I had no idea that I was even eligible for that scholarship until I had that conversation with him because of my dad's service in the Navy through Texas. So definitely if you or your parents were in the military, go talk to him because there might be some scholarships available that you had no idea about.
Okay. Any other questions so far? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go on to the next question. Do professors hold office hours? How often can students interact with professors outside of class? So yes, I kind of answered this question a little bit earlier, but we do offer office hours. Well, not we, professors do offer office hours. Those are kind of limited on their time. So just depending on what their schedule is and when they're on campus. But they're really good about telling you, like in the syllabus, this is when I'll be here and this is what it is for the whole semester. And it's really easy. I recommend making a connection with your professors at the beginning of the semester. Introduce yourself, let them know who you are so they can actually put a face to a name whenever you are emailing them and stuff like that. Just looks better on you. And then if you actually need the help later on in the semester, you have backup. But yeah, it's really easy. Anybody else want to add to that?
Yeah, it's all going to be in the syllabus. If you read your syllabus, you'll be able to tell what your professor's office hours are. For the most part, they're really a lot of our professors don't like stay in commerce, so their schedule could be kind of, you know, conflicting. But do your best to make sure your professors know who you are, and if they know who you are, they'll be more willing to help you, and maybe, you know, stay a little bit later or come on an extra day that they don't usually come on, just like if you show the effort.
Sounds good. Nice. Okay, so next question is, what resources are available if I'm a commuting student, such as travel vouchers or parking passes? There are no travel vouchers, but parking passes on campus are $60. So you do have to have a parking pass or they will ticket you. And once you get 3 tickets, they will boot your car. So just be aware of that. $60 for a university campus is not bad at all. So the only thing I would say is we do have a lot of commuters. So our parking lots do get really full. So just kind of put that into your mindset whenever you're thinking about making it to class on time and stuff like that. But that's about it.
Make sure you get the parking pass. It is essential because, like she said, they're only $60, and that's not a lot compared to a lot of campuses. And learn from me, I thought that, you know, oh, I'll just park off campus and walk. You know, no, you will get tickets, and they will rack up. And if you rack up tickets, then like it will stop you from doing things like being able to register for classes and getting your diploma when you graduate. And who wants $60 to stop them from graduating? Like, it's not worth it. So just pay that $60 and get your parking ticket, your sticker.
Yes. The question was, where can we get the parking passes? The parking passes are available at the one-stop shop at the student accounts office. They usually are there all throughout the semester, but there's also another student accounts office in the BA building on the first floor, and you can also buy that there. So there's 2 places on campus that you can actually buy your parking pass. And if you get a parking ticket, pay the parking ticket. So just keep that in mind. You're welcome. Any other questions so far? Okay. How can I meet other transfer students? Where did Maddie go? Maddie?
Well, this is a good start. You can see some other people that are transfer students. I think that's a good question.
That is a good question, right?
With orientation not being in person right now, that's kind of like the boo-boo part about it, because like during orientation we have our transfer students all together, so everyone, like, you have to go to orientation, so it's easy that way. Maybe, you know, if y'all want to show y'all's faces on here and, you know, mingle with each other once we leave the chat, y'all could make friends that way. But I don't know, Patty. I was an actual transfer student, so I don't really know too much.
That's what I was trying to think of, is just without orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Orientation usually gets everyone in their little groups, and people that they separate them by majors, and you get to know people like that. So once you do have them in classes, you know who they are. But it's different this semester.
It's a learning experience for sure.
Yeah, learning process.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so next question is, have any of you changed ideas about what you wanted to do as a career, like change majors? Yes. Or what the transition was like?
100%.
Okay, I haven't, so I'm gonna let them go ahead and answer the question.
Go ahead, Matt. You got it.
Okay. Okay. When I first came here, I thought that I wanted to go to med school and be a doctor. Don't know if it was just watching too much Grey's Anatomy. That's just what I thought I wanted to do. But then when I started actually getting into that coursework, I was like, dang, I don't really know if this is it. And then especially when I took anatomy, I was like, I'm gonna be a terrible doctor. But my freshman year, in my 1301, just like regular English class, our final was, we did like a mock trial, and the teacher assigned me to be the prosecuting attorney. And in doing all my research for the mock trial and then completing the actual mock trial and my side winning, I was like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I want to be a lawyer. Like, and everything just kind of clicked for me. But it took me another like semester or two to change my actual major to like work up the courage to be like, I've already put in all this work towards this major, but this isn't really what I want to do, and I'm paying to get a degree, so I might as well get it in something that I want to do. So when I told my dad I didn't want to be a doctor anymore, I wanted to be a lawyer, he was like, oh yeah, no, you'd be a much better lawyer. And I was like, why didn't we have this conversation a year ago, you know? But just through one of my classes, that's how I figured out what I wanted to do. And since I've changed my major to a double major in criminal justice and sociology, my grades have skyrocketed. Like, me being excited about going to class and doing my classwork is just so different. Like, your classwork is so much easier to do when you're excited about doing it, when you're excited about learning about the stuff and you're interested in it, and like doing the reading or reading the textbook that interests you. So I really encourage you, like, explore a couple different things before you decide on what your major is going to be. Because before I even got to college, I had like 17 different things in my head. And now that I have like kind of figured it out, like, it's so much more fun.
Yeah.
That's kind of my story of how I changed. Courtney?
I actually changed myself. Let me give you a little background. I just finished my first semester of grad school. Okay. So like the end of this week, I will be done with my first semester of grad school. Undergrad, I changed my major 3 or 4 times, and I still somehow graduated on time. So don't be discouraged if you're someone who's like me and is like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I want to do. If I change my major, I'll never graduate. I'll be in school for 7+ years working on my undergrad. That's not always the case. I thought I wanted to be a teacher. No, I thought I wanted to work with students. So they put me in education. And I was like, okay, I don't want to work with younger kids. Like, that's not my forte. Then I was like, okay, well, what about marketing? So I did marketing, and that wasn't my forte either. Radio television was what I came in originally as, knew for off rip that was not what I wanted to do. But after my senior year, I fell in love with higher education, and I decided that I want to be a success coach or an advisor for athletic departments. So I'm now getting my master's in higher ed. It is okay to change your major. Change it if you don't like it. Like she said, do something that you like to do, because it makes it a lot easier. And I know for myself that when I actually get in my field and I'm working, I don't want to go to a desk every day and be miserable. I want to go somewhere, like if I have to sit at a desk, I want to enjoy what I'm doing. So follow your passion. And that's about it.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
Got it. That's about it. I mean, I didn't get to go through that, thank God. I came in as a business administration student. And the only thing that changed about that is I added a minor, but I love my major. I knew that's what I wanted to do from the beginning. I knew, well, a little bit what I want to do after college is I want to be a coordinator for like a major sports team. So I want to do like events and stuff like that for sports. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do from the beginning. And I knew I could have my major and like have a good variety of backup plans, honestly, if that's what I didn't want to do in the long run. But I love my major and I love my classes and stuff like that. So I was just lucky. But we're going to go on and go to the next question. Let's see. What kind of opportunities exist for undergraduates to work on research or academic projects with professors?
What I know, one of my friends, he right now is getting to work on, and I'm totally going to butcher whatever the actual topic is, but it's a mixture of like a physics and astronomy project with one of our astronomy professors right now. They're working on a new way to calculate like stars and distances and planets and stuff. I don't know, that's not my area of expertise, don't know a lot about it. But he gets to spend a couple hours a week in with a professor, like in a lab, working on that and working on the different formulas and trying to work it out. And they're like working together on it, even though like the professor has like his PhD and this kind of stuff, and this is an undergrad student. They're working together instead of it just being the professor like, all right, here's what we're doing, and then the kid's like, sounds good. That's like a specific example I can think of, but I know specifically in a lot of the STEM projects and a lot of the STEM majors, there's a lot of opportunities within like labs to do that kind of stuff. And especially like the further you get up in your undergrad stuff, like you can help labs, and you can be a TA. And I know you can be a TA pretty much in any major if you just kind of talk to your professors and work all that out. Be a teaching assistant for those classes. And stuff within like the English department, like they have student newspapers and different writing projects and different things that they submit to different journals. So I know that there's a bunch of different opportunities like that. It's just kind of more professor based, and talking to that professor and being like, hey, this is something I'm interested in doing. And I've never really heard of a professor like turning down an opportunity like that. Brittany?
I don't really have too much on that topic. I know for like my major specifically, that's not something that I've ever just, sought out to do. But yeah, so I guess it just depends on the major and the professors. And if you make those connections with your professors, they'll do anything to really try to help you. So yeah.
Okay. So we have a question that says, what can we expect from orientation? As far as I know, I don't know too much about it, but it is going to be online. But I know Courtney will have a lot of information on it.
So this year is going to be so different. I'm so sad. I'm not going to lie to you that orientation is going all virtual. We have weekly meetings currently to try to figure out how we will be, doing it. It will be a lot of things kind of similar to like what we're doing right now. We'll have like virtual meet and greets, virtual tours where like the different organizations will come out and they'll be tabling still. It's all going to be virtual. In terms of how it's like really, really going to run, I don't know exactly, but we're going to do our very best, our very, very best to make sure that you guys still kind of feel somewhat of, our typical orientation experience. Our orientation experience is one for the books. That's why I had to join the team. Our group of students that I work with, it's always a great time. And even if we don't get to have it, well, since we're not having the physical orientation, when we do get back to campus, there will be a lot of things that we are doing to try to make up for that lack of that loss of time. So make sure you come out to the events that we do hold on campus and things like that. So that way you still kind of get that vibe, just maybe a little bit later.
You're muted.
I'm muted. Okay. It's the orientation, which will cover the face-to-face orientation. I heard the orientation is mandatory and it's so it is mandatory. So you still have to attend the orientation, but it's still going to be all virtual.
That's right.
Okay. So you do have to attend orientation.
Yeah.
They do go over everything, all the extra information everything. But yes, it is mandatory. So next question is, what resources are available to students with families, such as housing or childcare? So we do have on-campus housing for family housing that you have to go through RLL and let them know the situation, and that is located in the Holiday Building on campus. So our RLL office is located in the Holiday Building, and you just let them know you're interested in family housing, and they'll go ahead and work that out with you. And family housing is in between all the other dorms, so you still are on campus with everyone else. And then the second question to that was childcare. So we do have on campus, so it's a daycare on campus. So it is ran by campus, but students are available to work there. So just like that. But we do have childcare on campus for people with needs as well. And the next question I have is, what would you do differently if you could go back to your first semester?
That's a good one.
That is.
Who wants to go first on that one?
I'll go ahead and go.
You go.
Not that I regret playing basketball, because I don't regret it. It opened many, many, many doors for me. My only regret is I really wish that I was more involved at a younger age. I really wish that I would have, been able to have on-campus jobs or been involved in more student organizations than waiting until my senior year to do so. I'm telling you guys, Commerce is a small town. So it is what you make it. If you go out and, put yourself out there, you'll have the best time. You will meet people you never thought you would run across and build and form relationships that you never thought you would form. So if I could change one thing, it would just be that I wish I was more active at a younger age.
That covers it perfectly. Just getting more involved. I think I would have started playing intramurals sooner too. I love playing intramurals. They're so much fun. We literally have like all sports. We do like tournaments. We do like one-day tournaments. We do a couple week tournaments, stuff like that. I would have started playing those sooner because those, like, I played sports my whole life, and then I got to college and I wasn't playing any sports. So like having those to keep me active made me like a lot happier and stuff. So I would definitely get involved in intramurals. And I also would have tried Taco Burrito Express sooner because I definitely looked at it and thought it looked shady, and it's the best restaurant in town. 100%. You have to try it. Taco Burrito Express. Write that down. I'll put it in the chat. Write that down.
I like your answer, Maddie. I was also involved in sports in high school. So when I got here, I wasn't involved anymore, and it was kind of, but I did end up trying intramurals, and I loved it. But my freshman year, I wasn't involved as much as everyone else, and I saw a lot of people doing this and that, and just being involved, meeting a lot of different people. And I mean, I made a few connections, but I didn't go out of my little comfort zone my freshman year. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be involved, and I'm gonna do this and this and that. And I did, and I ended up loving it. So just try different things. Don't be that person that's always stuck in your little bubble. I do spend a lot of time at the library, so you meet a lot of people there. Let me tell you, you do meet a lot of people at the library, and you end up learning all kinds about different majors and just stuff like that. But make connections, honestly. These people might be the people you want to talk to whenever you graduate. So yeah, taco burritos, really good. I love Tokyo. You're in college. Tokyo's my spot. But let's see. Those are all the questions that I had listed. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything you guys want to know about anything really? Is the virtual orientation all week or just not? It is all week, so they have specific times that are going on for different things. So if you registered online, they should have sent you, or you kind of seen the actual step-by-step, like the time schedule of what everything's going on. I know Wednesday we have another student panel with our president, so you'll get to meet our president. He's also very well on campus. He's very well known. He's great. He gets involved, and he's awesome. He's awesome.
Love president. Great president.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
And then we also have another student panel with mainly freshmen. I know you guys are more transfer students, but just in case you guys want any additional information, we're also having another one on Friday. But in between then, they are having like multiple things where you can talk to staff, faculty, if you're more interested in learning more about your major or anything like that, how your classes are gonna go. Just go ahead and go back to the website, and they have everything listed of where and what time everything will be going on. So it's a really good, cool thing that we're doing, trying honestly, just because of the whole COVID-19 thing going on. But yes. How easy is the transfer process? Pretty easy. It's just like you're coming into a new school. It's through orientation, you're probably gonna leave with your schedule, Courtney, yes?
Mm-hmm. They still have to register on that, yeah.
Yeah, so you get to register and do all of that with your advisor at that time. And it's the same process, so they're gonna make it as easier for you than they're for the freshmen. But pretty easy. You just, if you are commuting, I just recommend just doing, learn like a little time management, how to get to campus at a decent time, so you can, if you don't know your way around campus, to just go ahead and walk around, see how far your classes are, stuff like that. But classes, you're going to have a good variety of everybody in your classes. You might have freshmen, seniors in your classes, and it kind of depends on what classes you're taking. But the whole process itself, it's really easy. They make it real smooth for you guys. The direct deposit for housing is $100. They should have sent those applications out already. If you haven't already looked into it or gotten an email about it, I'd recommend going to your MyLeo and then do the housing application. And whenever you do that, it is $100. But other than that, everything will come out later on. Is it on-campus apartments? We do have on-campus apartments, and they are for transfer or upperclassmen students. So kind of just depends on what you're looking into. They do get really full. So if you haven't already, again, just go ahead and look into what's available to you and what's the best option. But everything is on your MyLeo. If you haven't gotten a chance to log onto your MyLeo and actually look at all the apps on there, I'd recommend doing that. You kind of have everything. You have the orientation process, you have your MyLeo, all of your emails, our professors will email you to that email. Housing, meal plans, stuff like that. Everything is on your MyLeo. So just go ahead and log on to your MyLeo and look at the app section. You can also go to the resources and you can see your degree works, everything, your whole degree plan, everything is that you need for college is on your MyLeo. Just go ahead and like scan through that and just kind of see, because that's going to be your best friend.
Oh, I have a little bit of advice. Check your MyLeo email daily. There should not be a day that you don't check your MyLeo email, from your emails from professors or even scholarships. It could be an email sent out saying, hey, first 50 people to apply, something as simple as that. Make sure you guys check your MyLeo email. It is very, very important.
A nursing major, I can't do anything yet until I know I'm accepted into the program. Do spots go open by then? Is this for housing? I'm assuming.
I think so.
Yes. Okay.
Probably, I'll be honest, probably not in the apartment style housing, just because those go very, very fast. Now, for dormitories like Phase 2, Pride Rock, there's always rooms fluctuating and things changing in those dorms. But when it comes to the on-campus apartments, those get booked up pretty fast. And I know for a fact we can't guarantee, and I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So probably not.
I'm also going to add to that. Those do get really filled really fast, but depending on what year, I'm assuming you're kind of going into your junior year-ish because you haven't gotten accepted into the program yet. But I'd recommend Phase 2 if that's something more that you're interested in. Phase 2 is a suite style dormitory. So you do have a roommate, but you guys have separate bedrooms. Y'all share a small living space, and then y'all share a bathroom area. So it's like a small apartment minus the actual kitchen. You do have kitchens on each floor. So if that's something more you're interested in and the actual on-campus apartments aren't available anymore, that's more of an option you can go with. But other than that, they do offer like single rooms like in the other dorms, but those are going to be more towards like freshmen, sophomores. So kind of depending on what you want to do and where you want to live and who you want to live with. Yes.
They have weird names. Our dorms have weird names.
Yes.
They do.
Do you guys think that this fall will be on campus or more online based?
I know right now from the different meetings that I've had with some different faculty, they're planning 100% in-person classes. Like that is plan A. They want to see our faces on campus in the fall. They're doing everything they can to make that happen. They have backup plans just in case, but I know they're really gunning hard for getting us on campus in the fall, kind of going back to business as usual. Maybe with a couple of differences, but they're really trying hard to make sure we can get back to our classes. We have excellent faculty and staff here that are really working so hard right now for us. And I know we're like, whatever it may be, whether it is more online based or it is back in person, that it's going to be what's best for our community. And like our faculty is working so hard for us. So the plan is to be in person, but you know, with everything going on right now, that's very up in the air.
Government just announced Texas will be opening up May 1st at 25% capacity. We'll see. We're heading in the right direction. I hope we're on campus.
Me too. I love
It's
this.
a whole different feeling.
If we don't get football, I'm gonna be mad.
Oh,
check
that'll be horrible.
It was so much fun. Tailgate's awesome. Our home opener is a team from Canada. What? Are the rules even the same? I don't know.
It's even the same.
Right? Aren't Canadian rules like different? That might be really stupid, and if that was stupid, I'm so sorry. Well,
I've heard that. I think.
I thought the field was like a little bit different, like a little bit bigger, and I thought they had walls or something. I don't know. This could be like a fever dream. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I thought their rules were different, so we'll see how this goes. Last year, we played a team from Mexico. That was cool.
That one was really cool. I like that game.
Yeah.
You have a question that says, during the meeting night, can you elaborate more on freshman year housing? Freshman year housing, I kind of touched base on it, but if you go into your MyLeo and you go to, I believe it says housing and meal plan, something like that. If you go to the app section, just drop down and you'll find it. You have to fill out an application, and the application is a $100 deposit. And then once you have that, you'll go ahead and select your housing. And we have a few different ones, but for freshman base, we have phase 3. So phase 3 is the newest one that we have here on campus. They have 2 style rooms. So the first one is like your traditional dorms. You walk in, there's 2 closets, and there's just big open space with 2 beds and 2 desks. You have that traditional style housing. I honestly recommend, I like having a little roommate, having the full-on college feel whenever you move in, but you get to like meet that person and get to know someone, and go out and explore with them. But you have that option, and then they also offer a single room in that dorm. So you have a single room, so you just walk in, it's your room by yourself, and that one is a little bit more expensive because you are by yourself. But depending on how you are and how you want to live, you have those 2 different options in that dorm. The only thing with that, it is more traditional. So they do have community style bathrooms, but they're not your movie style community bathrooms. You walk in and they have full closed doors that lock, and you have your toilet and a shower inside of there, and then like the sinks are on the outside. So it kind of just depends on what you want to do. I lived there my freshman year. It was actually the first year they opened.
Same.
I loved it. Hey.
Yeah, I loved it. It sounds like it's gonna be awful. Like that doesn't sound super fun. And like I know a lot of the other dorms that like where you have your own room, you can close the door, like sound better. But like living in that room with somebody, like you get really close. Like you have like traditional college experience. I had a blast. I loved living in phase 3, to be honest.
Me too. And they do have lobbies they have like they have 3 different lobbies on each floor, and they each have a TV in each lobby, and they kind of have like small study rooms. So even if you do need to get away from your roommate, they have small study rooms that are soundproof that you can just go in and study by yourself. I took advantage of that because sometimes I just needed a break. But then a lot of people go out and they'll take out their games and stuff like that, and they'll all play in the lobby. It's a good time to like meet different people and get the full college experience. But that's just phase 3. And then we also have Whitley. Whitley is kind of a good variety of students, but it's the big tall skyscraper. It's 12 floors and they're all dorms. You do have the option to live by yourself in there as well, but they're all traditional. The only thing with that is that you share a bathroom with your neighbors. So rather than having to sharing a bathroom with everybody on the floor or anything like that, you're just sharing a bathroom with your neighbors. So you and your roommate with 2 other people, possibly. but and then we have Pride Rock for freshmen. So Pride Rock is set up the exact same way as phase 2. So it's your non-traditional style living. So you go in and you have a small living room, full-on bathroom area, and then 2 separate bedrooms. So again, those are a little bit more expensive, but depends on how you want to do your college life and how much you want to spend. How can we check my MyLeo email? So you just log in, you go to MyLeo. What is the actual?
Let's see. Here, I'll pull it up because I'm on my laptop.
If you pull up tnec.edu, it goes to like log into MyLeo, and you just pull it up. You log in with your student ID and your password, and then everything you need comes up there.
And you can also go through Gmail, because your MyLeo email is a Gmail account. So if you're having trouble through the actual like MyLeo website, just go to Gmail, type in that username or your MyLeo email, and then your password, and you can check it that way as well.
Actually, I could probably share my screen. Let's see if I can share my screen. Pages. Oh, haha. No. Okay, so can you guys see my screen? So if you go to, well, mine is saved. So leo.tnec.edu, it'll pull it up. And then it should look like this page. And then it just goes ahead and you sign into your MyLeo. And then my stuff is saved already. And then you just go ahead and log in. And then, so we do have a dual authentication. So it's for security purposes. So after 30 days, you have to like go in and like they either call your phone or text your phone. It's like a confirmation. So for security purposes, and you go to, this is what it looks like. And then you go to apps. So they usually have all your student events, everything that's going on campus there. And then all your apps is everything here. So your Leo Mail is there, but once you go there, it'll connect to your Gmail. Your MyLeo is where all your classes are going to be. So it's called D2L Brightspace. So any of your grades, assignments, anything like that, all of that your professors will put on there. So it's like you can see each of your classes, all the work, everything that is going on in there in the MyLeo. And then in the Leo Mail is all the emails and stuff like that they'll be sending you. Residential living and learning is where you can pick your housing and meal plan. They do have a commuter meal plan for people who don't live on campus, but know you'll be here a little bit more and it'll be more convenient. I have the commuter meal plan and I actually liked it. So just look into your options and see like that. You can also buy your parking permit on here. So you can buy your parking permit and then they'll just send it to you and you can just print it out yourself. Hire Alliance, stuff like that. If you're interested in having a job on campus, all of this is on here. Just anything really, scholarships, refund selection, everything that you need while you're on campus, you have the access to it on your MyLeo.
I also recommend, there's an app, it's called Pulse. It looks like this. That's awful. You totally can't see that. It's orange. It's called Pulse. It's where it's connected to D2L, which is like the program through MyLeo where we have like all of our classes and everything. And whenever your professor puts in a grade, it'll give you notification, which is like good and sometimes bad if you're like, it's a Friday night and your professor like puts in a grade and you're like, but normally it's pretty good. So you can keep track of everything. And it also shows you your class progress, which is something that I like to look at. Some of the classes have it, some of them don't, where it'll show you like with all the grades remaining in the grade book, kind of what your maximum grade you can get in that class is and what your minimum grade you can get in the class is. So that is a little bit helpful. Sometimes professors like add things and take away things. So it's not always 100% accurate, but it gives you a good kind of ballpark of where you're at. but it's called Pulse, and the little icon is orange, and it looks like what's that called? The machine that reads your heart goes like this. That's what the logo looks like. Pulse. Download it. I didn't know about it. Somebody else told me about it, and now I get great notifications. And it also gives you notifications if you have like an assignment coming up. Like if you take an online class and you have a test that's due at midnight on a Friday, it'll be like, reminder, you have a test that's due tomorrow night at 11:30 or something like that. You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm horrible at this, guys. Pros and cons about phase 3 and Whitley.
Whitley is just the older building. It's that's the only con to it. You're gonna have myself, like, you know how they were saying they stayed in phase 3 their freshman year. My freshman year, phase 3 was not there, so I stayed in Pride Rock. But a lot of my friends stayed in Whitley, and Whitley was like the fun house. So that's where all the fun was. Majority of the freshmen stayed there. So if you're looking to have fun and, you know, be active and interact with, you know, your peers, Whitley is also another place to be. It makes you step outside your comfort zone. And then phase 3, I don't know any cons. I mean, y'all stayed there. I don't know any cons about phase 3 other than you don't have your own room. And that may not be a con. That could be a pro if you want to have a roommate. So
For sure. The only con I can think for Whitley is that if you live on like the 10th floor and the fire alarm goes, you gotta walk down the stairs.
That could be true.
Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you're cool with walking down the stairs. I hate walking just in general. So that to me was a big, like, I don't really want to do that. But if you don't mind it, and that's again, like, Whitley's so much fun. Like, I had a ton of friends that stayed there, and there was always like people hanging out and stuff like that in Whitley, and like stuff like going down in Whitley. But if the fire alarm goes off, and yeah, I lived on the first floor of phase 3, and the fire alarm did go off one time while I was in the shower. So just be prepared, just in case it might happen. Bring a robe, something.
There's another question in there.
What are the housing options for upperclassmen again? Oh, okay. So it is phase 2 and New Pride, but it just kind of depends on what you, when you actually go in and register for housing and what's available. But
there's also the F halls.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Y'all want to elaborate on F halls?
So I'm an Alpha Phi. There's 6 F halls, which is like female only housing. They're essentially kind of like houses. They're on campus. They're across from the Hall of Languages. If you ever have gotten to visit campus, 4 of them are occupied by sororities. We have Alpha Phi, Chi Omega, Gamma Phi Beta, and Kappa Delta. The other 2, I believe, I can't remember if it's one or both, are living and learning communities. Lisa, can you remember which ones occupy the houses?
For the living and learning communities, we have
one sister
and Mujeres de Acción. So what they are, they're living and learning communities. So they interact with each other, they live together, and they just go out and do like different events on campus. They do like volunteer work, just anything like that to just create more of a bond with people on campus. When can we have a what break?
A lunch break?
A lunch break or a lunch break? A lunch break. Now I'm confused.
Now during the day.
Or like whenever you're
it's 4 o'clock.
You're more in control of your schedule. You're more in control of your schedule, so you build your schedule how you want it. I usually build my schedule around my lunch break. I'm not gonna lie. So you kind of, depending on, some people like just getting their classes out of the way really early in the day, and then they're done by 12 o'clock. That's how I was. And then this year I only had 2 classes a day, and then that was it. Like I was done by 1 o'clock. I started class at 11. I slept in and I was done early. So kind of depends on how you choose to do your schedule, and the more you're involved in, of course, you have time management. Honestly, it's kind of where it fits in. But most people are in the cafeteria area like at noon. That's when it's like really packed. Everyone's there. But yeah.
Another little gem about commerce is if you don't have classes at noon on Mondays, the BSM, the Baptist Student Ministries, I think that's what it stands for. It's literally right off campus, essentially almost on campus, so close. They offer free lunch on Mondays, and you don't have to be a part of the trip to go get it. You're a student at commerce, you can walk in, and like it's good food too. And they have like desserts, like whole desserts. It's not just like a cookie, like it's like a dessert. And like one time they had Popeyes, they like catered it. Like sometimes they'll do like chicken spaghetti. I'm not from Texas. I didn't know what chicken spaghetti was, but it's really good. They'll do like fried chicken, or they'll do like sandwiches or spaghetti, like, or like really good pastas. Like, so free lunch, BSM, noon. Don't tell anybody, because if y'all take all my food, I'm gonna be a little mad. That's just for y'all.
Yes. So does anybody have any additional questions? No. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Meeting you guys. You guys see us on camera?
Yes. If y'all, we don't know what you guys look like because y'all's cameras are off, but if y'all see us on campus, don't be afraid to speak, you know. Say hi.
I see Courtney. Courtney's actually my neighbor.
Yes, hey neighbor. Yeah. And I work in the Alumni Center on campus. So if you ever just, feel like stopping by the Alumni Center on campus, you'll see a familiar face.
Yes. But I hope we answered all of you guys' questions. If you do have any additional information or you just want to know more, we do have 2 additional student panels throughout the week. And then again, just go ahead and look at the registration list and look at the times and stuff of everything they have to offer. You can go in and talk to any professor, or not any professor, but a lot of staff and faculty that are working with us for this week. So that's about it. Sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and end the Zoom, but bye guys.
Bye.